Hey y'all, so I just wanted to get on here again to clarify something that I said in my previous video about the National Guardsman that was shot in DC and how the White House has been on lockdown. I forgot to mention in that video that the National Guardsman that opened fire on a protester who happened to be a veteran. And naturally, that veteran reacted and shot back because he's a veteran. He was probably at war and and is used to shooting back when somebody fires at him. And that breaks my heart. That's sad. That's sad that a National Guardsman who swore an oath to protect the American people opened fire on a veteran who was protesting. What the actual fuck? You soldiers. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm a veteran. I served this country for 14 years. I did a tour in Afghanistan. And I would never, ever in my life open fire on one of my own Americans protesting, especially a veteran. What the actual fuck? No, no, it's time. It's time for the American people to use our Second Amendment rights and defend ourselves because it's just gonna get worse. With ICE detaining American citizens, disappearing them, not knowing where they are, not given due process under the Constitution, not allowed to have a lawyer, not allowed to have legal counsel or anything like that, or go before a judge, nothing like that. They're completely denied any of their rights under the Constitution of the United States. And law enforcement, local law enforcement, affords us Americans that right to counsel. They read us our Miranda rights. Granted, some of them go a little bit overboard, but they still allow us our rights. But these ICE agents, they ain't Americans. They ain't Americans in my book. They're traitors. They're terrorists. They're traitors to this country. They're traitors. They are now the enemy, the domestic enemy. That I, as a veteran that served in this country for 14 years, took an oath to defend against enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, they're the domestic enemy. You can say whatever you want to me in these comments. I really don't care. Because I'm going to speak my mind. That's my First Amendment right, my freedom of speech. And TikTok, I'm going to tell you this right now. You will not violate my freedom of speech. That's my First Amendment right as an American. You may be a Chinese company, but you operate here in the United States. And in the United States of America, we have a Constitution. And that very First Amendment in that Constitution says that we have freedom of speech. So get that through your minds. You ain't going to violate my freedom of speech. Or anybody else's freedom of speech for that matter. You might do that in China. But not here in this country, not in America. Because we Americans are defiant by nature. But back to what I was saying before about that National Guardsman that was shot. I feel bad. My heart is breaking right now for both that veteran and that National Guard soldier. But I'm sorry, that National Guard soldier was in the wrong. He opened fire against one of his own, a protester. He opened fire against one of his own. And that's sad. That's sad. Because he took the same oath that I took. We all have to take that oath before you, when you join the military. You have to take that oath to the Constitution. We don't take an oath to a king. We don't take an oath to a president. We don't take an oath to Congress. We don't take an oath to generals. We don't take an oath to nobody but the U.S. Constitution. That's the only oath that we take. Most of us take that oath seriously. I know I did. I took it very seriously. I'm just without words right now. I'm just when this person called me and told me what happened. This is a very reliable source. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to expose this person, but it's a very reliable source. I've known this person for years. We served together in the military, and we remained friends afterwards. So he's a reliable source. I know, I know that that soldier that opened fire on that protester, I know he was magnified. He had to be magnified. Sorry, y'all. I took my allergy medication and my sinuses are draining like crazy. Allergies is bad here right now for some reason, even though it's cold as fuck. Allergies, anyway. It just breaks my heart. It really breaks my. I know he took that same oath to protect Americans, and for him to open fire on a protester, a veteran protester, I know he had to be magnified. He had to be magnified, and that's sad. That's sad that that soldier would put his God above the Constitution that he swore an oath to. That's sad that that soldier would put his orange God before the Constitution that he swore an oath to. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't know. Look, it's time. It's time. It's time. All I'm going to say is it's time for us, the majority of us Americans who are fed up with this, because I know that 76% of Americans are fed up with this. They are fed up with it. And that 76% of Americans does not include the veterans. And I'm part of that veteran community, and I can tell you right now that at least 90% of them veterans hate MAGA. They hate MAGA. They can't stand them. And I also know a lot of active duty soldiers as well that feel the same way. Unfortunately, there are a lot that will put the orange man above their oath to the Constitution, but that's few and far between. The majority of them took an oath to that Constitution seriously. But anyway, I'm running out of time, so y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. And remember, if you're a soldier, remember your oath.